Okay, good morning, everyone. So, we are on the way to a local running shoe store. Now that I've been running every day, and my goal is to run every day for the next 3 weeks, since we've already passed a week, I want to make sure that I'm wearing the right shoes so that my feet aren't getting screwed up, and that my form is good, and that I'm not disaligning any bones or any like muscles or joints or whatever. So I want to make sure that I'm getting the right shoe. So we're going to go into a local running shoe store. I'm going to get their advice, of course. And then I'm probably going to buy my shoes somewhere else, because running shoe stores are they're known to be a little bit more expensive. Even if you're just buying like the common brand or whatever, you can always get a cheaper pair at like a TJ Maxx, a Home Goods, Marshalls kind of thing. Home Goods, Marshall store, Dick's Sporting Goods, or even just online at Adidas, Nike, any kind of other store. So we're gonna go into the next city, because I don't know where the running shoe stores are here, but we're gonna go into the next city and get some professional advice. I'm actually starving right now, and I don't know if it's because I just took my L-glutamine and my chlorophyll this morning and my MSM on an empty stomach, but I'm used to taking things on an empty stomach in the morning as far as like my vitamins and supplements. It is 10:30 a.m. and by now I would have already finished my workout, but I fell asleep at like 2:30 a.m. and so I allowed my body to sleep through. Like, I don't have to go into work right now, at least until tomorrow or Thursday, I believe. So I'm just like allowing my body to sleep without an alarm clock. But yeah, I'm like kind of craving hash browns right now from McDonald's. I haven't had McDonald's since Denver, but before that year. But yeah, I could really go for some hash browns right now. I'm just so hungry. So where I thought the store was, it actually moved. So I've already passed the store and we're going back. We're doing a little bit of a U-turn. But then after that, I'm going to get breakfast. I'm going to get coffee. I had a week off from going to my regular coffee shop, and I started really getting into Bang energy drinks, and having one like after my workout, where like I didn't have one yesterday, but I had coffee because they returned. So now I'm like, I could use a coffee this morning.
There, yep. And then, yeah, just go about shoulder width apart for me now. Okay, and then we're gonna kind of assess that arch rigidity and flexibility. So if you want to do like a half squat, bring your knees over your toes a little bit. Okay, so you can come up again for me. And then I'll have you as best you can do it on one leg at a time. Perfect. And there. Do you have any like current aches or pains or injuries with your feet?
Not with my feet, no.
Okay.
This knee though does bother me once in a while, but it's not to the point where I'm like, you can't go,
Yeah.
you can't do something. It's
Okay.
just like a jumper's knee, I think, because I was
Okay.
a dancer for a really long time.
Gotcha.
But also CrossFit and
Okay. What part of like your knee bothers you?
well, when I was doing this, I think it was like right
You
here.
feel it kind of on the inside there? Okay, gotcha. I think some of the support we can give you with this shoe too will help with it's called that knee valgus. So like when you drop forward. So you'll get some like kind of extra tension and like that part there if you have like that lack of stability. So let's get you in like I call it like a test pair of shoes. So kind of a shoe that's going to be let the foot do its own thing for the most part, so we can see how it's moving when you're running on the treadmill.
Okay.
And then we'll like break that down and see like what we need to add or take away. So
Okay.
generally we'll probably end up adding like some support and stuff like that. And I'll talk you through the different components of the shoe and stuff like that. But let's get your foot measured.
Okay.
You just want to step in that. Yeah.
So you guys, I have been at 8.5 my entire life and a 9 in tennis shoes just to be comfortable. And he just measured my feet and they literally came up to the 9 mark. So I'm gonna be trying on a 9.5 and then possibly a 10. I also mentioned like that they're gonna add or see if I need any like cushion or anything to help me, because sometimes when I am running I notice I put more pressure on my left leg, and I do have like, it's not so much a pain, it's just like an irritation in my left knee, but I do kind of like, I really think that being a dancer and like having jumper's knee is to blame for that, but yeah.
Room for like as the foot expands during a 9.5. And this is the Brooks Go, so it's their moderate cushion neutral shoe.
Okay.
It's not going to add like anything to the foot. It's going to kind of let it do its own thing for the most part. One of the best selling shoes in the US, just popular, good neutral shoe all around with a nice amount of cushioning. So go ahead and tie this.
Oh my gosh. These
Pretty big
feel
difference. For me, just give those heels a couple light taps to make sure it's like seated in the shoe. Okay, I'm gonna feel where your toes are at spacing wise now. So wiggle that big toe. Okay, nice. In there. So you feel like you kind of have a little bit of space in the end there? Yeah. So it's kind of in that range where it's like about a 1/4 inch of space. So if you wanted to, we could bump up half a size, but given that you've been in a smaller shoe, you might like a little bit like, not necessarily a smaller fit, but like.
I do like a smaller fit,
Okay.
because I've noticed that these kind of are, these are really like getting, or they feel like they're getting big, and maybe that's because like these are so like loose, the cloth material.
Sure.
So maybe that's why I like having a smaller
Okay.
fit.
Yeah, let's start with those then. So
Plus,
we'll
I
do-
feel like it makes me feel like I have more control when I'm
Gotcha. Yeah, there's not like a bunch of loose shoe like
yeah.
moving. Okay, well let's do that. We want to look for what's called overpronation. So that's the collapsing inward of that arch. The pronation itself isn't inherently bad, but the overpronation is when we can get into like the realm of injuries. So to get that angle of pronation, we'll do a line through the back of the shoe there. There's like this nice little like line in the middle to anchor off of. And then to get the relative position of the foot, we'll split that lower leg with a line going through that Achilles tendon, that thick tendon in the back of your heel. And then what we get in the bottom here is kind of that angle of pronation. So you can see there's a little bit here. It's not super significant, but because you toe out so much, like in this yellow area, meaning the foot's rotated to the right, you kind of have a little more pronation and that like knee valgus that we talked about. So I think it'd be helpful to either add a light amount of support, whether that's with like an insert or just a slightly different, more supportive shoe, and we'll kind of correct you more into that neutral position. So this will be good for us to compare later on. We can do another pair of shoes and like compare them side by side. But let me do the other foot and then we'll show you like the side view also.
Okay.
Dropping inward, rotate it out a bit, and you can kind of see like, so if we did like an angle kind of with this here, your femur, you're angling in, that knee shifting over, and in turn like you have to make up for that impact right here, because that's going to be the next thing that moves, because that knee, that's going to be a hinge joint, so it can't like swivel and rotate and accommodate as much as this ankle can, which has that ability to pronate, which is where a lot of the shock absorption is going to come from too. But if we overload that too much, the tissue along the shin here and stuff's going to get irritated. We're going to have shin splints, injuries, different things like that. So that's where we need to add like some firmness or support here, get that foot rotated up, and in turn that'll push that knee back out. Everything will be nice, more kind of in a straight line for you. Okay. So we're going to try some options now with different support and stuff to see what feels best.
Okay. So I just spent like 2 minutes thinking about the word, but that was actually a really great running and foot anatomy assessment. That's the word. And so now it's time to eat. But what he said to me that was really interesting is that I'm moving into like for tennis shoes or running shoes, I would be like a 9, or like a 9. I would be a 9.5 actually, or a 10. And it's very interesting because I went to the doctor like earlier this year and they told me that I was 5'5", and months before that they told me I was 5'5.5". So I'm like, am I getting shorter and my feet are getting longer? I'm actually going to order a different pair of shoes, and then I'm going to come back into Performance Running Outfitters, and I'm going to grab some lifters and some other things just to make the shoe more comfortable. Otherwise, if that doesn't even make sense, then I'll just come back and buy the actual shoes that I tried on, which were the Brooks. And even if I do get the lifters and the heels, I'll buy running shoes afterwards anyways. So I'm excited. It's 11:20 and I'm planning to go to the gym around 2 p.m. because someone, a little birdie, a neighbor in my apartment complex, told me that 2 p.m. is like the best time to go into the gym because nobody goes into the gym at that time. And so that's what I like. I like peace and quiet and nothing but hip hop and trap music blasting through my headphones when I'm working out. And so that's what we're waiting to do. But until then, I'm just gonna eat. And typically I like to work out and run and do whatever I need to do in the morning fasted. But since it is 11:20, I do need to eat. And so let's go and get some food. I had to stop at Starbucks because there was nothing else really around that I wanted to pick up really quick. So egg white, red pepper bites for breakfast. I look like a liquid junkie. Okay, so I don't know why, but the editing portion of anything that I do is always the most annoying. So I'm procrastinating finishing this vlog to let you guys know how my 1 week of mile run did, or my 1 week of running a mile went. But I do have 2 new buys from Amazon from Running Girl. So I finally bought new sports bras that aren't just like the typical norm, and this is what they look like. They're the one shoulders. I went up a size. Usually I get a small, but I'm not really liking how it can dig into how it's not digging into my back, but like, ladies, sometimes your bra size makes a difference of how much back fat you have or whether or not you do have back fat. So I decided to go up a size and give the girls some breathing room. So I bought 2. I bought obviously one in black and one in just like a classic camo because I love camo. I love olive green, I love grays, I love black. Just like neutral colors, typically like a darker gray than this. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys this. I also got another sports bra. It came in separately than this, but I bought them all together. And it's like a dark coral, it's like a dark coral or maroon. No, it's definitely not maroon. Anyways, it's snakeskin. And the back is a lot different than this, but I'm kind of just on like a new active wear binge buying spree right now. So last night, because I didn't go to bed until like 2:30 a.m. So last night, around 2, I was on Amazon, and I just decided to buy 3 pairs of Irola leggings. So we're gonna try all of this stuff on together. but until then, I do have to wash these. I have sensitive skin, so I have to wash everything before I try it on. But now that I remember that this is the same brand as the other sports bra that I just got, I don't feel like I need to really try this on. I think that the size will fit perfectly fine. So I need to wash these, and then when the leggings come in, I'll wash those. I'll do a full haul for you guys. And yeah, and they're my first pair of Arola leggings, so I'm actually really excited to try them on and see like what they look like. I'm not huge into like the emphasizing your butt like scrunch legging thing. I think it's so just unnecessary. I understand that it's a lot more flattering, but that's just me. All right, I'm going to the gym now. It's time for legs. I'm gonna start my workout with the Stairmasters. Again, if you want to see any of my workouts, they are on my shorts. So now that I'm finished with my workout, which was it was an hour and 20 minutes today, obviously including breaks, but my run was so hard today, and I could feel like fasted running is probably the best for me in order to have a longer lasting like energy. I don't know, like I just felt like I had very low to no energy. Apparently the best thing to have, sorry, I got a text message, the best thing to have after a workout is water with a pinch of salt. So that's what I'm having here. It's supposed to rehydrate your muscles, I believe, and also since you have sweat so much, you are restoring your electrolytes. But don't quote me, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a personal trainer, I'm not a dietitian, I never went to school for health or anything. I'm just going off of Mind Pump podcast, and I trust that they will tell me the truth. It's salt water. Great, so I'm also making oatmeal, which sounds really weird because it's 5 p.m. and who wants to have oatmeal at the end of the day? But I just feel like I need to have carbs and protein, so I'm gonna make a protein oatmeal with probably some diced apples on top, and I'm gonna keep the apples cold because I just don't feel like cooking them or making anything soft right now. But yeah, so baby spoon. This is my absolute favorite protein. I definitely need to get the chocolate one, but I always get the vanilla because every time I buy protein, I am out of protein, and I just feel like vanilla mixes better with things than chocolate protein. Then I have one apple left. These are organic Honeycrisp apples from Trader Joe's. Actually, I want to put this on here so that it absorbs better. Look how perfect that looks. Perfect. I'm leaving a little bit of water in there because the protein is actually going to thicken it up, I'm pretty sure. And here you have it. This will be my post-run meal. And I still have lots of apples left, so yeah. Alright, so now that we're in the portion of the vlog where I'm gonna actually talk to you guys about what I noticed about my run, my mile run every single day for this last week. Let's just get started, okay? So I decided to challenge myself to run for a week, and that was because I remember watching a Paul Revalia, I believe, video right before I went to Denver, and I remember him talking about running and how it helps with fat loss. And so I was curious because he is a huge advocate for high incline, fast paced walking for fat loss slash getting like shredded. And that's what I had been doing. I had been following his tips and his recommendation because he is, you know, a bodybuilder, trainer, and I'm pretty sure he's competed himself. So I decided to run a mile the day I left for Denver. But before that, the night before, I looked up what the average mile time was. And apparently, if you're starting off running, if it's not familiar to you, your average time is between 12 to 15 minutes. But if you are a consistent runner, your time is between 9 to 10. That's the average. And so I decided to see what my time would be if I just ran a mile. Not that I was challenging myself that day or that I was for any other reason or to like just keep track. It was literally just to see what my time would be naturally. And I think that day I got between 14 and a half minutes or 15 minutes. I'm not sure. I will double check. I texted my friend what my time was, so I can let you guys know in the comments below. But I just remember feeling accomplished and amazing right after that run because it was very tough for me. I was huffing and puffing, and I honestly really wanted to stop. I think I wanted to stop at like 0.30 miles. I know it, but running can be very stressful on your lungs and your body. And for someone who's always thought that they had very poor cardiovascular strength and no ability to run at all, I was very proud of myself for finishing and running that mile. So I tried to run the next day. I tried to run a mile again the next day while in Denver, and I just couldn't. I didn't. And so I decided to re-challenge myself when I got back. So we got back, I took a week off, and then I started my run again on July 2nd. I do not have the stats for that because I forgot to actually take screenshots or take a video of the treadmill. But in the first couple of days, I want to say, like first few days, I was going off of the treadmill time, and then I found out that I should be going off of my Apple Watch's time because it's actually on my body and it's going to be a little bit more accurate. So my times are going to be a little fluctuated, a little off, but at the same time that cuts down a lot of my minutes because the treadmill is probably 2 minutes longer than my Apple Watch. So there's that. My workout is this. So I always warm up 5 to 10 minutes. So if I'm doing an upper body day, I will start off with a 5-minute warm up with the jump rope. And for a while, I was also warming up 5 minutes with the Stairmaster on lower body days. But I just upped it to 10 minutes. So those are what my warm ups are like. And then my workout split is 2 days of upper body, 2 days of lower body, 2 days of full body, and then 1 day of cardio. And if it's the day of cardio, I'll just do a mile run so far because I need to get back into biking. But as of the week that we're talking about, I only did a mile run. And then later that day, I walked on the trail for 45 minutes. So that was my day of cardio. It was a active recovery day. That's what I call my day of cardio. But anyways, so I'll do about 60 to 70 minutes of weightlifting or just like my normal workout. And that is because I'm not cutting any workouts out unless they exceed 70 minutes just about. And that's because I want to just do my workout. If I make it to where it's only a 45-minute workout, I know that I'm not going to push myself or get what I need to get in. during that workout. So I do the 60 to 70-minute workout, and then after that I go straight to the treadmill and get my run in. I chose to run after my workouts because I heard that it helps with building your muscles. I have seen a huge difference, but in just the week, honestly, I have seen what they're talking about when it says like it will help build your muscle. You're not going to just lean out immediately and lose all this muscle. Like, that's just not true from what I've seen in my experience. Let me just restate that. This is all just my experience. Okay, so let's get into it. I have 7 things that I noticed during this last week of my mile run. First thing is that I could breathe easier. I've had a couple of people say like, what's wrong when I'm just breathing? And it sounds something like, and it's literally just me breathing, but they don't understand that, and they think that I'm like upset or I'm sad, when really I just don't have that great of a cardiovascular system, like strength. And so when I started to run more often, I noticed that it felt like weight was being lifted off of my chest. I truly feel like I'm breathing so much differently, and I'm getting different air. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels, I feel stronger. I just feel like my lungs are finally getting the workout that they've always needed from something other than CrossFit or HIIT or spin or weight training in general, or even just like the Stairmaster, because the Stairmaster can definitely win you out. But that is the first thing that I noticed, is that I was breathing so much easier, and everything like just felt lighter around me. I didn't feel lethargic and heavy. The second thing that I noticed is that my times improved. Now, I could have been a little bit confused in the beginning because I was going off of the treadmill, but I think that my average time is around 11 minutes, and that just makes me feel a lot better, honestly. And with the first 2 days of running, I could obviously feel it. I could feel it, but the third day of running, I blew past it. Like, it was such an easy run. I couldn't understand why it felt so good and so easy, but I do want to say that it's possible that it's because my muscles, like in my legs, were tight. I couldn't really feel anything while I was running, which was very weird. But at the same time, like, I always had this thought in the back of my head that day that I was really hoping my legs did not cramp up while I was running, because I was actually trying a guest pass at a new gym that opened up in the area, and I did not want my legs to seize while I was running on the treadmill. But I ended up finishing that run, and I wanted to run even more. But yeah, obviously if you're working on something every single day, you're eventually going to improve and you're going to get better at it. And that is what I noticed immediately. In fact, today I think, and today is actually day 10. Today I think I got my lowest time, which was like 10:47. But anyways, I will absolutely put the stats up here for you guys to see if I haven't already. The third thing I noticed is that I have way more energy. I am someone, especially in the summer, my body just wants to nap. It wants to take a nap, and I'm thinking I have so much to do, like I can't take a nap. But I just crash, like my body just crashes. Now, this could also be because the coffee shop that I frequent went on a week break. Literally the week that I decided to start running, they also went on a week break. So yeah, that could also be a thing, that coffee makes me crash. But I can honestly say that I think it was the running that really gave me that energy. And the reason for that is because, and this is going to be my 4th tip, is that So I think the reason for that is because I was feeling accomplished. I was feeling very accomplished, very focused, and I felt like now that I've done the hard thing that I didn't want to do in the day, something that challenged me, something that I knew or thought, because it doesn't, I thought was going to suck every single day, didn't suck. But in my head and in my body, I was like, I did that. Like, I slayed that. That's done. Like, I can literally go out into the world and do anything else that I want to do. And that really helped me with my energy. But I was just happier throughout the day, and I felt like my mindset was more positive because, and it could be a combination of everything I literally just mentioned. Like, I was feeling lighter, I was breathing better, I had more energy, I had the improved timing, the improved times. And so that was the fourth thing I noticed, is that I was like bouncing like Tigger. Like, I was just like happy and blissful. The fifth thing that I noticed is that I've noticed the fat loss. Yeah. I also have been eating more in a calorie deficit because I'm not as hungry. I'm just not hungry as much as I usually would be after my weight training. I have to acknowledge and like remember that I have to eat 3 meals a day. I can't snack, and I'm a snacker. So I noticed that I'm not binge eating, and I'm consciously choosing the right things. Even if I'm having more of it, I know that it's better for me, but I also know that I'm not having too much more, that it's going to put me in a calorie surplus. But running has really helped to target my back fat. And not just that, my abdominal. I don't have a before or after photo because I did not want to make this about body image. I wanted it to be about how I felt and about the progression of cardiovascular strength and how it can help with my training, or how it is helping with my training, but more so just how it's helping with my overall body recomp. And so under this fifth tip, let me just quickly get into it. I've noticed fat loss in my back, in my abdomen, in my abdominals, abdomen, my arms, just a little bit, just a tiny bit in my arms. But I've noticed even more muscle gain in my calves, which are tiny. Like, I always say I have drumstick syndrome because they are so tiny and disproportionate from my quads. And so I've noticed that these babies are finally growing. And I also notice, ladies, I've noticed that my glutes are growing. Running is definitely a glute booster. And I don't know if it's because I'm running after my workouts or if I'm just running at all, but clearly I must be activating them, and I must be running fast enough to activate them. So that is my fifth tip, or like, it's not really a tip, but like the fifth thing that I noticed. The sixth thing that I noticed is that I am stronger overall. I'm squatting deeper. I'm a lot more comfortable squatting, just squatting deeper. And when I do squat, I know I can feel when I'm targeting my quads and when I'm targeting my glutes, and that has been amazing. So my squats are deeper, but also my back is so much stronger. You guys, in the beginning of the year, I couldn't do a single pull-up, and I had been stuck at 3 for a really long time. I think when I was in Denver, I did overhand pull-ups, not just the narrow grip, but the overhand, and I only did 2. The bar was thick, it was matted, my hands were sweaty, slippery, calloused, and so I only did 2 that day. But just 2 days ago or so, I decided to test my pull-ups during an upper body day upper body split day, and I did 4. And that is huge for me because I've never been able to pull my body up. I've never been able to do a pull up in my life. Being able to do not just 1, not just 2, not just 3, but 4 pull ups in the span of about 7 months is really amazing for me. And I think that I have to give that to just running. And I think that running is really helping strengthen my back muscles. So that is my 6th observation. Now my last and 7th tip, and it's not a tip, oh my gosh. My last and 7th observation is that I have been sleeping better. I sleep throughout the night, with the exception of yesterday. But I've noticed that my sleep is deeper, it's longer, I'm literally not interrupted. I'm knocked out, and that is rare. I'm so used to waking up throughout the night, maybe hearing something or not hearing anything at all, but I have interrupted sleep, sleep paralysis every once in a while. I think that running at least a mile every single day for the last week, again, full sentence, has helped with my sleep. Just, I'm more chill, I'm more relaxed, I have less anxiety, I am less frantic, which, I mean, I just could care less about a lot of things. I let a lot of things go. And I can be pretty, like, I don't know, antsy. So being able to sleep throughout the night is amazing. So those are my 7 observations from my 1 week of running. I am on day 10 today, and I just finished my run. Like I said, it was 10:47 for my time. And then tomorrow is day 11, but I will actually see you guys on day 30 because this is a 30-day challenge, but I really don't plan on stopping this challenge, these runs. I don't know, I just don't feel like it would be good for me to stop. I don't think it would be beneficial when I'm seeing so many good things happen in my body, in my mood, and my attitude. Yeah, so comment below how you are with running if you want to, but honestly, this was just, I had to get this video out to you guys. I haven't done a regular vlog in so long. All of my workouts are in the shorts if you do want to see anything that I'm doing. I am really bad at adding like the sets and reps, but just know that the sets and reps are between 3 and 4 sets, reps in between 6 and 15, depending on if I'm doing upper body or lower body. I'm trying to kind of lean out my upper body and gain muscle in my lower body, so you can decide which one is which reps. But yeah, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye!